My dad slammed the papers on the bank table and said in a cold voice, "Maria, sign this right now, or you'll lose everything." I felt my heart drop because I finally understood. This wasn't about helping me. This was a trap. And the moment the bank manager leaned closer, his eyebrows shot up like he had just found a bomb hidden in the documents. And suddenly everyone in that room went silent. Before I continue, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because what happened next shocked even the bank staff. I tried to keep my hands from shaking as I stared at my dad. Just an hour ago, he had been all smiles, acting like this quick visit to the bank was some routine formality. He even put his arm around me in the parking lot, pretending to be the world's most supportive father, but now the mask had fallen off. His eyes were sharp, hungry, and impatient, like he was waiting for me to make the one mistake he needed. I looked at the papers again, the ones he insisted I sign for the family's future. But something felt wrong from the moment we walked in. He wouldn't let me read them properly, kept tapping the signature line, kept whispering, "Just trust me, Maria. Stop overthinking." But the bank manager, Mr. Collins, had already noticed something my dad never thought anyone would catch. He quietly pulled the papers toward himself and flipped to the second page. His face changed, his jaw tightened, and then he looked up at me with a small, almost hidden warning in his eyes. "Maria," he said carefully, "did you write this?" My dad froze. I felt a strange mix of fear and adrenaline because I knew exactly what Mr. Collins was talking about. The tiny handwritten message I had secretly added when my dad wasn't looking. The message no one was supposed to find unless something dangerous was happening. My dad's voice cracked slightly. "There is no message. Just get her signature so we can finish this." But Mr. Collins didn't look away from me. He slid the paper toward me, his finger tapping on the corner where I had scribbled something that could destroy everything my dad planned. And the moment my dad realized what the manager had found, his entire face went pale. He wasn't supposed to know I already knew the trap. My dad tried to snatch the papers back, but Mr. Collins placed his hand over them, calm but firm, like he already expected my father to react exactly like this. The tension hit the room so fast that even the security guard near the entrance looked over. My dad forced a smile, the kind he used when he wanted people to think he was the victim. "Maria's confused," he said. "She added something silly. It's not important. She'll sign." But Mr. Collins didn't even blink. "Actually," he said, "it's very important." My pulse hammered in my ears, because that tiny line I had secretly written wasn't just a message, it was a signal that I suspected my dad was trying to take control of everything I owned. I wrote it late at night when he first mentioned the bank visit, just in case. He finally turned the document toward me. On the bottom corner, in faint blue ink, were the words, "If I'm forced to sign anything today, something is wrong." My dad's jaw locked. His silence felt heavier than his anger. Mr. Collins leaned back slightly. "Maria, did someone pressure you to sign this paperwork?" There was no accusation in his tone, just a quiet understanding. But my dad erupted. "Pressure?" he shouted. "I'm her father. This is our family business. She's being dramatic. These papers simply transfer a few responsibilities." He didn't finish, because Mr. Collins flipped to the back page and pointed to a bold section that no honest father would hide. A section titled, "Full Ownership Transfer." My stomach clenched. He really wanted everything. My accounts, my shares, even the company I built alone, while he pretended I was wasting my life. Mr. Collins looked straight at me. "Maria, you understand that if you signed this, you would lose every asset connected to your name?" The room tilted for a second. My dad had told me it was a small bank update, just signatures, nothing serious. But the truth sat there on paper, cold and violent. And then, the twist none of us expected happened. Mr. Collins pulled out another folder, a thick one, sealed. He placed it between us carefully, "Maria," he said softly, "before I show you what's inside, I need to know something." He lowered his voice. "Does your father know about the second account under your name?" My dad blinked. "What second account?" Mr. Collins didn't answer him. He waited for me. My breath caught in my throat. He found it. The account no one, not even my mother, knew existed. The account where I kept the one thing that could destroy my dad's entire plan. "Maria," he said, voice steady, "should we tell him? Or do you want to do it yourself?" My dad's face drained of all color. He thought he was trapping me. He didn't know I had prepared for this moment for years. And now, the truth was about to hit him harder than he ever imagined. My dad's fingers curled slowly against the table, like he was trying to keep himself from exploding. He looked from me to Mr. Collins and back again, his voice lowering into something dark. "Maria, what account is he talking about?" He said it softly, but there was nothing gentle in it. It was the same tone he used years ago when he told me I'd never make it on my own. The same tone he used when he laughed at my first failed job interview, when he said success wasn't meant for someone like me. But now he wasn't laughing. Mr. Collins kept his calm. "Sir, I'm asking you to step back for a moment." My dad slammed his fist on the table. "I'm not going anywhere. That is my daughter. I have a right to know." Mr. Collins raised a hand. "You have a right to nothing if the intention is manipulation." Everything felt like it froze. My dad looked like he'd been slapped. It was the first time someone outside the family had spoken to him like that. He opened his mouth to argue, but Mr. Collins continued. "Maria, I want you to confirm something. Did you open the second account for protection purposes?" Protection? That word hit my father harder than anything else. I swallowed. "Yes." My dad stared at me like he didn't even recognize me. "You protected yourself from me?" He said it like it was unbelievable, like the idea of him hurting me was absurd, like he hadn't done it 1,000 times in 1,000 smaller ways. I lifted my eyes and looked right at him. "I had to." He took a step toward me, voice rising. "Maria, what lies have you been feeding this man? You're my daughter. I would never—" But he stopped, because Mr. Collins finally opened the sealed folder. Inside were printed statements, timestamps, and digital logs, pages and pages of activity tied to that secret account. But there was something else in there, too. Something even I didn't expect. A signature. Not mine. A forged one. My dad saw it the same moment I did. His lips parted. His pupils shrank. He stumbled a step backwards like the ground shifted under him. Mr. Collins placed the document between us. This was an attempted transfer, made 2 weeks ago. I felt the blood rush out of my face. Someone had tried to access the account. Someone had tried to move money out of it. Someone who knew nothing about the account until recently. My voice trembled. Who requested the transfer? Mr. Collins slowly turned the page, and there it was. The name, my father's brother, my uncle, the one who always acted like I was invisible, the one who always said I was too soft to survive the business world, the one who mysteriously showed up at our house last month with family paperwork. My dad stared at the signature, stunned. He did this without telling me? Mr. Collins paused, then looked directly at me. There's more. He placed a second sheet on the table. This time the signature wasn't my uncle's. This time it was my dad's. Except it was dated yesterday. My dad froze. Completely. He didn't speak. He didn't blink. He didn't even breathe. And I suddenly understood the real twist. The trap wasn't just mine. Someone had set a trap for him too. Maria, Mr. Collins said quietly, your father was manipulated, just like you were. My chest tightened, because in that moment everything changed. My dad wasn't the only threat in the room. Someone else was pulling the strings, and they were about to take everything from both of us. My dad sank into the chair like the floor had vanished under him. For the first time in my life, he didn't look angry. He looked betrayed. His hands trembled when he touched the forged signature, his name in someone else's handwriting. He whispered almost to himself, "He told me this was for the family. He said you were wasting the money. He said we needed control before you ruined everything." The truth hit him like a punch. His brother had played him just as hard as he'd tried to play me. Mr. Collins placed the final document on the table. This, he said, tapping it gently, is a scheduled transfer for next week. If it goes through, both your accounts, Maria's and yours, would be emptied. Completely. My dad's breath caught. Both? Why mine? Because, Mr. Collins said, the destination account belongs to someone neither of you authorized. My dad leaned forward. Who? Mr. Collins turned the paper, and there it was. My uncle's wife. Aunt Cynthia. The woman who always pretended to be harmless. The woman who gave fake smiles and backhanded compliments. The woman who hugged me at family dinners but whispered to my mom that I would never be successful. My dad stared at the name and finally everything clicked for him. They were stealing from me, he whispered. From both of us. For a moment there was silence. Heavy, dangerous silence. Then my dad looked up at me, and for the first time in years, his voice wasn't harsh or controlling. It was quiet, almost small. Maria, I'm sorry. I wasn't ready for that. Not from him. Not after everything. But Mr. Collins interrupted gently. We still have time. I flagged the transfer before it could be completed. But we need to make a decision right now, both of you. He slid 2 new documents toward us. Protective orders, account freezes, emergency verification blocks, evidence reports. Everything needed to stop my uncle and Cynthia permanently. My dad looked at me like he expected me to walk away, to let him drown in the mess he helped create. But I didn't. I signed first. Then he signed. Mr. Collins gathered the papers with a deep exhale. Good. Now, the final step. He picked up the phone and dialed the internal fraud team. My dad whispered, "What happens now?" Mr. Collins didn't sugarcoat it. Now we catch them. 30 minutes later, security footage, timestamps, and digital logs were on the screen. Everything pointed to the same 2 people, and when the bank investigators confirmed the matching handwriting on the forged signatures, my uncle and Cynthia were finished. The next day, the police visited their house. They tried to talk their way out of it, first blaming me, then my dad, then claiming they were set up. But the evidence was too strong. They were arrested. And for the first time in my life, my dad didn't hide behind pride or excuses. He came to my room that evening and sat quietly beside me. "I should have trusted you," he said. "I should have protected you." Then he paused. "And thank you for protecting both of us." It wasn't forgiveness, not yet. But it was a start. And the strangest part? Walking into that bank, I thought I was alone. Walking out, I realized I had taken power back, not just from him, but from everyone who ever thought I was weak. My dad lost his illusions, my uncle lost his freedom, and I gained everything they tried to take away: justice, strength, and a future they could never control again.